Hey guys, so here I am going to be doing a scrapbook layout of Brian and I, and I'm using some Coordination Foundation Snowcap White cardstock, and I spray painted in gold on this stencil that I purchased from Target, and it's just of a log. Sorry about that. And then I just used some printer paper to stamp the stencil with the excess, and it came out pretty cool, so I kept it. But anyways, I'm cutting off the manufacturer's strip, and I'm going to try to put a doily, but I thought that because there was something round already behind it, that it just looked a little bit weird. So I ended up not using that, and I went for some fall leaves. So I just have a bunch of these leaves cut out for my silhouette, and then I'm using up this Heidi Swap gold glittered frame because I've had them in my stash, and I'm trying to get rid of a lot of my stuff because I have just too much. So here, as you can see, I'm not even punching out all of the center pieces. I'm just keeping whatever stays in there. And I'm using some black and white. It's kind of a striped pattern. Some of those leaves just to give it some color. And then these are some chipboard, some chipboard pieces from Studio Calico from an older Project Life kit. Here I'm going to be looking through some crate paper die cuts to use, and I use a couple, not too many, but I use just a couple to embellish the page. So I fiddled around a whole lot just trying to get some stuff on here, but I couldn't really find much because a lot of the pieces were huge. They were really large. So I went to a Maggie Holmes die cut pack. So I'm going to be choosing some things from here. And again, I will be flipping through a lot before I come to one piece. I believe I just used one from here. So, trying to add another color on top of the gold and the brown, but it just wasn't working. So I just put this black and white details oval. Then I tried adding some black on that side. I just thought that it didn't work out. So here I'm going to do some stamping. But before I do that, I thought that I'd just go ahead and glue everything down. And just like Wilna Furstenberg, I love to use my hot glue gun. So I used my hot glue gun to adhere everything, especially those leaves. I just put a little bit of glue, not a whole lot on my photo, to hold down the glue, to hold down the leaves. But I didn't really hold down very many. So I'm here using just some of my American Craft Runner to adhere the leaves, and I'm not adhering them all the way because I want them to flare a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm committing to all of the other pieces by gluing them. Here I add a lot of hot glue to pop up the details just a little bit, since the frame was a little bit thick because it was chipboard. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to use that geotag chipboard, so I kept it aside. Just using some American Crafts pop squares or adhesive squares, 3D squares, whatever. And then I'm gonna use some more chipboard to go onto the top. And then I added this, I believe it's American Crafts DIY. It's a Polaroid camera. It's a wood veneer, and I didn't paint it or anything. I kept it as it was to keep it neutral. And then I'm using a Kelly Perky stamp that says "We Were Here," which is the title of this layout. And I'm adhering that down underneath to just bring in some black on that side. And then I'm going to do more stamping with a couple other stamps. I choose to do my journaling, which I haven't done yet, but I'm planning on doing my journaling around the circle or the log part, and doing my journaling around the circle spots or whatever you want to call it. I'm so lost. I'm sorry. Okay, so anyways, I am using a cross stamp from a Studio Calico Project Slave Kit. And it's a clear stamp that came with one of the kits. And then here I am wanting to put this black polka dot washi, but it just doesn't work. It's already fully embellished, and just adding the tape was too much, so I ended up not using that. I felt like that needed gold on the top, so I went to grab some sequins, and I have this huge jar of gold. And I just recently organized all my sequins, so I'm super excited about that. But I do have a huge jar still that is just mixed with a bunch of colors, which I'm probably not even going to try sorting. So here I'm using my stapler to staple some of the chipboard. And some more stamps because I felt like it was still empty up there, so I wanted to add another stamp, and it says "Here Now," I believe. I think so. I'm not sure. But I'll have a picture on my Instagram, so that'll be linked down at the bottom in the description box. So you'll see that if you go ahead and head over to my Instagram. To add some color, because I couldn't with die cuts, I chose to do some watercolors. So I'm mixing some orange with the light pink, and to give it this like orangey pink color. And I splattered that around, and that finishes my layout. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and go ahead and check out my Instagram for a better view of this layout. Don't forget to follow and subscribe, and thanks for watching.